This title is narrated with virtual voice, computer-generated narration for audiobooks. Saving His Heart by Jennifer Youngblood and Agnes Canestri. 1. Colton Myers hit the brakes and stopped the ambulance in front of Jackson Valley High School. His eyes wandered to the trees surrounding the premises, and he wondered why the lower branches weren't trimmed properly. Teenage boys would see them as an invitation to climb the towering trees, and according to the details from dispatch, that was exactly what had happened. He jumped out and opened the rear doors. Let's hope this is the last call for today. He'd hoped to get a minute between calls to run some errands and cruise over to his apartment. Amy would be arriving tomorrow, and he still needed to get her favorite snack, the weird one with those healthy pseudo-grains and nuts that should only appeal to hamsters. But when Ian asked Colton to jump in for him and take the 911 call at the school with Drew, he couldn't refuse. For Colton, on duty or not, a call trumped everything, even his desire to impress Amy. Drew, one of the paramedics on his crew, came to help him get the gurney. A small brunette, likely the unfortunate victim's teacher, stepped over to them. "I'm Ms. Garcia. Anything you need help with?" "Nope, we can manage. So where is the young Superman?" Drew's comment was met with a worried look from Ms. Garcia. "He's this way." She pointed at a building to their left, then turned and hurried toward the schoolyard. Colton and Drew lifted the gurney and followed her. "Go easy with the jokes, Drew," Colt whispered. "Based on the call, it isn't a grave situation, but we can't know it for certain until we get there." "Sure, I just wanted to ease Miss Garcia's tension." "I know, but what's funny to us might not be to a civilian." Drew shrugged and his hands tightened on the gurney. Colton understood him, of course. Humor was Colton's first weapon against stress, and it kept the mood light, despite the lack of sleep. But from Miss Garcia's perspective, the firefighters shouldn't be joking about the boys' bold action. Climbing a tree just to win a foolish bet was indeed slightly amusing, but there was little to smile about with broken bones, especially when the boy's fall could have been far worse. They headed over to the boy who was sitting underneath the tree he'd tried to climb, a tall oak with slippery bark. Colton and Drew lowered the gurney to the ground and approached the victim. The boy leaned with his back to the large trunk. From the awkward position of his left leg, it looked like he had a fractured tibia. Blood was slowly seeping through his pants, and he had a few minor scratches on his arms. The rest of his body seemed intact. The young Superman has indeed been lucky with his fall. Colton ushered back the students who were standing around their classmate in a tight circle so that they had enough space to examine the boy's injury. He blinked at the smooth bark again. It would be a tough climb even for a squirrel. "How'd you manage to get high enough to hurt yourself so bad?" Drew winked at Colton. "Maybe using a secret Wolverine power." Ms. Garcia scoffed, but the boy grinned proudly as if Drew's phrase was a great compliment. "I have pretty strong shoulders and a good grip. Only on the way back my shoes slipped." His face contracted as a spasm of pain ran through him. "Does it hurt a lot?" Colton kneeled down next to him. "What's your name?" "Jamie. And no, it's okay." He pinched his lips together. Colton could tell that he was lying through his teeth. His injury wasn't life-threatening, but it had to be painful. Jamie flashed a quick side glance at a young redhead with a form-hugging top. She leaned her head on the shoulder of a bulky boy with a tattoo on his right forearm. Ah, so the bet wasn't just a simple cockfight. Young boys could be such fools when it came to girls. Drew bent closer and examined Jamie's leg. "It looks like a fracture. Not too nasty, but we'll take you to the hospital for an X-ray and treatment." "To the hospital?" the redhead squeaked, suddenly drawing away from her bulky pal. "Is it that bad?" Colton exchanged a knowing glance with Drew. They had witnessed enough adolescent injuries to know that, in some cases, describing the situation worse than it was could mean bonus points for the victim's reputation. Colton pivoted to the girl and forced his brows into a concerned frown. "Your friend here made an extremely bold climb. Very
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.